I don't understand why it does that, but it's just a weird computer thing. Normally people will say straight away, they're like, oh, what is that funny noise?
Well, that's interesting. I didn't know Zoom is like, by the way, like this is being live streamed. You consent to blah, 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 blah. Like that's pretty cool actually, but I had never seen that.
Yeah. Okay.
Hey. So it looks like we're live. Is that correct, Marissa? All right. So welcome everybody. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. We have some fun in store for all you viewers out there. This is just going to be a chat with some Sapphic Romance authors. And we're going to play Two Truths and a Lie. There's going to be a gift card giveaway. We have some fun in store. So the first thing we're going to do is just go around and introduce ourselves and talk about the book that we are currently hoping you all rush out and buy. I will be posting some buy links in the chat so that if you are not buy links, but just links. So you can find us on social media, our websites, and then I will also post the link to the Eventbrite page that has the links to purchase all of our books through Love Sweet Arrow. Please send your dollars towards them because they are gracious enough to be hosting us tonight. So big thanks to Love Sweet Arrow. Yay! All right, so we will go alphabetically. So Renee, would you like to go first?
Sure, why not? I'm in your tomorrow anyway, given that I'm in Australia.
That's right. Renee is meeting us from the future.
Future.
Let's just be random anyway and be first from the future. It's about 11 in the morning in Sydney. It's a crappy overcast spring day. Yes, spring. Coming into summer. It's kind of that. It doesn't rain very much in Sydney, but when it does, you get these big tropical thunderstorms and it gets humid as hell. So it's that kind of day. It's going to be about 25 degrees Celsius, I think. Anywho, I'm obviously Australian writer. I write everything across romance. I started out writing, my first series was a MF series that was set in the Victorian era, and then I wrote a rural romance series, and then all over the place. The current series that I'm talking about is like a set in 1919 in England and Wales, and so 3 friends who are all Sapphic and they all get their own romance. The first one is Melody, her lady's Melody. My brain is obviously super switched on. So her lady's Melody starts in Amsterdam, and the main character worked during World War I as a doctor, and she's kind of got shell shock, I guess. I mean, what you'd call PTSD now. And it's a next door neighbor romance. The other main character is an escapee from the Russian Revolution, and then they have a little mystery to solve, and they end up in England and fall in love.
Hooray!
Yeah.
All right. Nice. Thank you so much for joining us from the future. I guess alphabetically I'm next. So I'll go ahead. I'm Kelly Farmer. I write women's hockey romance, and I have 2 books in the Out on the Ice series. The second book in the series, Unexpected Goals, just came out last Tuesday. So you can get it now. And basically this series just follows women's hockey players, either retired or active, and in Unexpected Goals. It is a US-Canadian enemies to lovers story between a Canadian goalie and an American forward who likes to score goals. And now they are teammates on the same women's pro hockey team. And so they, of course, don't like each other at first, and they have to learn how to play nice for the benefit of the team. But then, of course, they realize they maybe sort of kind of like each other, and wackiness ensues. All right. It was
a fun read. I finished it yesterday.
Oh, yay. Thank you. All right. Next, Rianne, please.
Hello. I'm Ryan Gray, they, them pronouns. I write FF and F non-binary romance, a lot of romantic suspense. That's kind of my favorite of the subgenres. I have a romantic suspense series starring a non-binary assassin that has 2 books out. That's like through a small press. I wrote a monstrous romance called A Strip of Velvet. That was a lot of fun. And then both my novel and Karina debut, which I'm going to talk about today, is Her Wolf in the Wild, which is my FF book, which has Christiana, who starts the book on the run from the cops, and gets rescued by a very hot, very tall butch biker who turns out to be alpha of the local.
Ryan, you froze there. Uh-oh. We have a frozen Ryan.
No.
Oh no.
The perils of live streaming.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, so we will pop back to the intro when they unfreeze. Rachel, would you like to go next?
Sure. I'm Rachel Lacey. My pronouns are she, her, and I write contemporary romance in lots of different subgenres. Oh, Rian's back. Would you like to finish yours?
Okay. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody froze for me.
We heard up to Alpha Butch Biker, I think is where we.
And we got excited, and then
never mind. I got frozen again briefly, but yeah, go ahead, Rachel.
Okay. The book I'm going to be talking about today is my upcoming release, Read Between the Lines, which comes out on December 1st, and it is a Sapphic enemies to lovers romance between a Manhattan bookstore owner and a reclusive author who are flirty online friends, but they don't realize that they also know each other in real life, where my author heroine, through her day job as a property developer, has just terminated the bookstore's lease.
I've written one of those too. That's such fun. I love that whole dynamic of online friends, offline enemies.
Me too. It's like my favorite. So yeah.
Awesome. And then R.L. Merrill.
Hi, I'm Ro. I write a little bit of everything also. I like that we kind of have that dynamic going here. I write male, female, male, male, female, female. I have a paranormal poly MFF that someday is going to see the light of day. So, I'm all over the place. I am from the Bay Area, and I'm super excited to be a part of this and be here with these awesome authors. I am talking about Love and Pride, which you're getting the printed version, not the book today, because I don't have my paperbacks yet. They should have arrived today according to tracking, but that's how it goes. Love and Pride is the second story set in a larger world called the Boulder Breed Studios collection. And it's about a group of music producers that open a kind of a compound outside Portland, Oregon, and the adventures that happen when you're trying to find the right sound, the right mix with the right person. The first one was a male story called I Want More. And that came out last year in the Love Is All anthology. That's a charity anthology that we've been doing in June the past couple of years. And then Love and Pride came out this year in the anthology in volume 4, which was a limited release. So now I've re-released Love and Pride on its own with this gorgeous cover. And it is about an ingenue pop star who gets sent to record a Christmas song with this veteran producer who she's very intimidated to work with, and gets there, and they have kind of a different take on how to do a holiday song that will work. And it's an age gap romance, and was very much inspired by Linda Perry. If you're a fan of alternative rock from the 90s, but also she's worked with so many different artists. And so that's kind of where my inspiration came from for the story.
Awesome. And again, that just came out today. So
Woo!
hot off the presses.
Yep.
And Rachel, I apologize. I don't know if you mentioned yours is available for pre-order
Yes.
as it comes out December
Pre-order.
1st.
December 1st. Mm-hmm.
Awesome. All right. So let's go ahead and we'll jump into our game here. But first, I just want to mention that we love when the audience participates, so feel free to chat along with us. I will be selecting one random person from the chat to win a $20 Love Sweet Arrow gift card. So the more you comment, the greater your chances of winning. So go for it.
All right.
All right. So we are writers and we are creative type people. And so we decided to play a game where perhaps there's some untruths being told. We're going to do 2 truths and a lie. So very simple. The 4 other authors in attendance will give us 2. So we'll say 3 statements, and 2 of those statements will be true, but 1 of those will be a lie. And now what we're going to ask of you is guess which one is the lie. So that's the one we want you to type in the chat. Either you can say like the second one or the one about the dog, or, just type whatever's easiest for you. And then once we all guess, then the truths and lies will be revealed. All right, you guys ready? Okay, so the first topic is going to be either your books or your writing career. So it's going to be something in that realm. Rachel, do you want to get us started?
Sure. All right, here are mine about my writing career. Number 1, the first book I wrote was the 10th book I published. Number 2, I once drafted an entire book in a week. And number three, I started out writing fan fiction before I became a published author.
Okay. All right. So viewers, which one do you think Rachel is fibbing about? Is it, what was it you published?
The first book I wrote was the 10th book I published. I once drafted a book in a week, and I started writing fan fiction before I was a published author.
They are all pretty believable.
I don't want to believe the one about the week, though. Drafting a whole book in a week. I mean, and you live to tell the tale.
I could do a novella in a week.
There's drafting, and then there's like completion of a book. So
right, exactly.
Let's see. We're having number 2 is a lie. The first one. Oh, those are all good. The first one. So we have 2 votes for the first one. All right, Rachel. Which one of those is a lie?
My lie is that I started writing fan fiction before I was a published author. I do write fan fiction. But I only started writing fan fiction in 2019, and I was published in 2014. So yeah, I came to it late. I'm the backwards author. I always do everything backwards. So.
So you sold your 10th manuscript you wrote was your debut. Is that correct?
The first book I wrote, I indie published it. So, but it was the 10th book I published. It's called Unwritten. It's a celebrity romance. It was the first book I wrote. I queried it. It didn't sell, and for good reason, because it was really crappy because I didn't know what I was doing yet. So like when I had a break in my schedule later on, I just really loved that book. So I went back and cleaned it up, rewrote a lot of it and indie published it. So it's my 10th published book.
Awesome. Good times. And then your second one, what is the truism of that?
That one is Lost in Paradise. It is a shorter book. It was about, and I think the first draft was only maybe like 45,000 words, but I did draft it in a week.
Well done.
Wow.
I was just really into that one
you.
while I was writing it. And it was a stranded story, so it was like a very linear plot, you know?
Right.
So
Not a lot of like location change.
yeah.
All right, we'll give you a break for that, I guess.
Okay. Ro, do you want to go next?
Oh, sure. And I will say that this took me a really long time to come up with these, but okay. I mentioned earlier that I've written all kinds of things. So which of these is not true, I guess. I've written a historical Western horror romance, a contemporary royals story, or an alligator shifter paranormal romance.
I don't know, but I hope the alligator one is real because I don't think I've ever heard of an alligator shifter.
And I want the historical Western horror. I mean,
Yeah.
like, honestly, all of these I hope are true.
What was the middle? Celebrity royal?
Contemporary royals.
Very royals. Mhm.
Royal. Okay.
Yeah,
I guess that because it's like the least out there, I think.
Yeah. It's like the least.
That's my
go
logic
book.
too.
That's your logic? Did
Yeah, that's my
anybody
logic
else?
that it's the most
Yeah.
it's the most straightforward. So I think it's
Yeah,
not true.
yeah.
Most marketable, so it must be correct. Must be on.
Okay. Oh, what do we have in the chat?
I'm looking at her, but Sharon did say for Rachel, good job staying with the first book and not burying it in the drawer.
Thank you.
So yeah, yeah, you can pull them out of the drawer and dust them
I know.
off.
It really felt good to publish that one, I will say.
Yeah. All
I did
right.
the same thing. My first book, I only published it last year, and I
Mhm.
published my first book in 2014 also. So yeah, same.
It was such a great feeling because I don't know. I think like your first always just means a lot because, well, for me, I had spent like years working on that one. So
Yeah. Yep.
didn't draft
Yep.
that one in a
So-
week.
In the chat, we've got 2 votes that the Royals story is a lie. The alligator story is a lie. But
They
Sharon
all
said
sound
they all sound
bananas
bananas fun. So,
All right,
All
drum
right.
roll. Gosh, I'm no good at this. The Royals story is not true. I'm not a Royals person, I guess. I haven't done that yet, but absolutely there is an alligator shifter paranormal romance.
Good.
Awesome.
It is called Shifted, and it's part of a series that's like a universe that I write called the Magic and Mayhem universe. It's based on Robin Peterman's novels. And yes, I have a water witch who has been hexed and can't do her magic, and she falls for an alligator shifter
Love it.
who's a drummer in a band. Even better.
well, obviously.
Yeah, and the historical Western horror romance was my story in the Banes of Lakes Crossing, and it's called The Fourth Man, and it's about a group of brothers who travel from Utah territory to Nevada to mine for silver, and they find something under the ground. So that's all I'll say. And that's actually the universe that the poly male female story is written in. So hopefully that will see the light of day soon, because I really love that story.
Rob, our good friend Rob, he said he's looking at the gator story right now.
Oh, yay! Yeah,
So, I think we just sold the gator story.
Yes. I had to go through because this universe is super wacky, and I had to try to figure out what's an animal that no one's done so far.
Yes.
I think you found it.
Yeah. Yep.
All right, let's go to Renee.
Okay. So I always wanted to be a writer. I write all of my dialogue first and then layer in everything else after. And the second book I wrote was the first one that got rejected by a traditional publisher.
All right. Can you repeat those again so that we can ponder them?
Yeah. So I always wanted to be a writer, like childhood dream. I write all of my dialogue first, and the second book I wrote was the first one that was rejected.
Okay.
Interesting.
Because they all could be true. The dialogue one is just wacky enough to be true.
I know. That would be hard to make up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like it might be the last one because it's so specific, like numbers wise. That's my guess.
I think it's the first one. I think it's the
I
first
do
one because
too.
I think there's a lot of
Yeah.
us that I'm in that camp that it was not ever something I thought I would do, and I just kind of fell into it. So I think there's other people out there like me, but maybe I'm wrong.
Okay, we have one vote for the dialogue one. Vote for the third one's a lie. A vote for number one is the lie. So you basically
You did
stumped
good.
us. You stumped all
Yeah.
of us, Renee. All right. So which one is the actual lie?
The writer one. I did a physics degree because I never had to write an essay in the whole degree. I was never going to be a writer. And
Not
then
uncommon.
I ended up getting a job where I was doing like data analysis, but then writing magazine articles to explain the data, and I kind of fell into it that way. Yeah, it was a roundabout backward.
So data analysis switched to spies in World War I, and like I love that jump. That's a jump.
I mean, I've always been a really big reader, so
Yeah.
I guess in a sense the stretch of reader to writer is not a very big distance, but
True.
I specifically didn't want to do writing as a career when I was younger.
Mm-hmm. Awesome.
Here we are.
Great story, and you stumped the audience on that one. Okay, Ryan, it is your turn.
Okay. So let me find my sheet here. Okay. I'm an extremely rigid plotter. I've sold every full manuscript I've written, and all of my books are secretly in the same universe.
Oh,
These are good.
I don't want
really
that one
good.
to be.
I have
I don't want
no
that one to
idea.
be the lie. I
Okay.
love it when authors sneak ways in to like make all their books connected. That is so much fun to try to find the little Easter eggs.
Okay, can you read yours again, please?
Yeah. Okay. I'm an extremely rigid plotter. I've sold every full manuscript I've written. All of my books are secretly in the same universe.
I think I might know the answer to this one.
You're cheating. We go to supper club
I
together.
was gonna say we like hang out and stuff. So I think I do know the answer, but I don't want to
I think I know the answer because I think I've seen a conversation about this online, but I will.
All right, I'm getting number 2 is the lie. Anybody else? Number 1 is the lie. All right, you want to go ahead and reveal the lie?
So mine are not all in the same universe. I wish I had planned that early. I wish I'd planned that early because it would have been really fun. I kind of like, I kind of got myself with my assassin books are in such a noir world that's like a step to the left that it doesn't really line up with contemporary other things. But I have been lucky enough to sell so far every book I've written.
That
Good for
is
you.
Oh, that's
So-
I cannot say the
But
same.
we'll see. That streak's gonna break eventually. My friend always jokes to me. She's like, "That's an impossible standard you've given yourself." I was like, "Not on purpose."
I mean,
I hope that
I
streak
sold-
never breaks.
I sold the first book I ever wrote, and then the second one was it was the same series, and the publisher was like, "No, why did you write that side character? Write this one instead." Okay.
Yeah, because I shopped my assassin book around for ages and it didn't get anywhere, and I was like, okay, I'll just move on. And then like my last my last query was to 9-Star Press, and I had just gone on to do something else. And they're like, "Hey, we'd like this," and I was like, "Oh, hey,
Oh.
you want to do a series? Me, sure."
Yes.
All right.
So
Yeah.
yeah, but yeah, no, I wish
Excellent.
all of them were in the same
Yeah.
universe. That
In the
would be
chat,
cool.
people were saying, "Oh darn, that would be cool."
Yeah.
That we wanted that one to be
Yeah,
true.
no. Yeah, no, which makes me just want to do more crossovers. It sounds fun.
Do it.
Figure it
Do
out.
it.
You can figure it out. It'll happen. All right. Yay. Okay, we're going to move on now to our second category. And that is going to be something from your personal life, that people may or may not know about you. So, and if they don't know it about you, then they don't know you're lying. All right. So, Ro, do you want to go first this time?
Oh, sure. I had a very interesting work life before I spent 27 years as an educator. So here are places that I've worked. The police department, a tech company, and a Hallmark store.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Hmm. Or all of the above. If you're I have a friend and some of my Chicago area writer friends, you know who I'm speaking of, who has literally had every job, like ever. If you talk about something, she'll be like, "Oh yeah, I worked there. Oh yeah, I did that. Oh yeah, I was that." So, all right, can you give us the 3 jobs again?
Yes, I have worked in the police department, a tech company, and a Hallmark store.
Hmm.
I believe any of these. This is a good one. I'm not
That's right.
sure.
It's a good
Whatever.
one. I'm not
You
sure.
don't believe any of them? That's
No, I
funny.
do. Like I could.
Oh.
Yeah.
So I'm really not sure.
Hmm.
I say Hallmark store.
That's what I thought too. Not that you wouldn't be great at a Hallmark store. All right, let's see. What saith the chat? Police department.
Oh.
Hmm. Anybody else? Hallmark store.
Interesting.
Oh. All right. Which one is the lie? Where did you not work?
All right. Well, I was a victim advocate in the police department. I was a temp at a tech company, which was awesome because all I got to do was read all day. It was great. But I did work at a stationery store, but it was not a Hallmark store.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's almost
yeah.
cheating.
I was trying to make it as close to possible, but the
Yes.
lie,
Yes.
Yep. So it was not owned by Hallmark. It was not affiliated with Hallmark. And I lasted about 3 weeks. And then my dance instructor quit and the studio hired me to take over her job. And I was out of there.
All right. Awesome. Okay, Renee, it is your turn.
Okay, so my dad is a Russian baron. I once had a horse called Bimbo, and my favorite food is chocolate.
Wow. Can you give us those again? Huh.
So my dad is a Russian baron. I once had a horse called Bimbo, and my favorite food is chocolate.
Wow.
I feel like chocolate only because it's so obvious that it seems
Yeah,
like
no,
it
that's the
wouldn't
same
be
to me.
fake.
Yeah.
It's like with Rose, it's so mundane that I think that it's not true.
And I've seen some of the names people give their horses. So I would
Mhm.
absolutely believe the horse's name was Bimbo.
Yep.
I mean, I think we all want number 1 to be true.
I
you
know, right?
All right. So, and from Rose, Charlotte said that reading all day sounds lovely.
Oh, it was great. It was awesome. I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, I'll stay at this temp job as long as you want me. And then I got a real job. So,
All right. We've got 4 votes for chocolate being the 5 votes for chocolate is the lie. So
oh,
that is not
except there hasn't been royalty in Russia for Oh, 100 years.
Oh boy.
Hmm.
The plot thickens.
Well,
I thought about that. I was like, wait a minute.
You
There
know more
hasn't
about
been.
Russian history than I do.
Yeah.
I mean, I was a history
right.
major. I
So-
should know.
Everybody said chocolate is the lie. So if it's not chocolate, you fooled all of us. What is that?
No,
What is
it's-
it?
I'm allergic to chocolate.
Ah, okay.
Interesting.
But is it your
So-
favorite
Not my
food?
favorite. No.
I feel like
That'd be
if it made you feel like
Yeah.
if
no,
you had
it's-
allergic reactions to it, it would not be your favorite food.
True.
Yeah, no, the smell of it makes me feel ill. So
No.
Ooh,
not fun.
No.
that's
So you did have a horse
terrible.
named Bimbo.
I had a horse named Bimbo. He was a 13 two-hand dun gelding. So not the greatest name for a gelding, but he was heaps fun.
Yeah. And then so
And-
what's the story with the number one?
Well, I mean, technically, yes, historically, Dad is not a Russian baron because the title hasn't existed since 1917. But he's the
I
current
said not
holder.
in Russia, but the royal family did leave Russia. So
He is the current holder of a Russian title that it lines up to a baronetcy in the English system. The Russian system's a bit more complicated, but essentially is an inheritable knighthood. that his
Cool.
very
great-grandfather got.
interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
It's a pretty
We're
cool
learning
document.
things tonight.
We
we're
are.
having history lessons and all sorts of fun things.
I mean,
Yeah,
it's
very
quite
interesting
cool. Like the
Yeah.
not much of the stuff survived because they had to run away in the revolution.
Yeah.
And deservedly so, one might say, because owning serfs isn't cool and people uprise against all that crap. So fair enough that they had to run away, and some of them ran away with jewels sewn in their clothes, which I used in Her Lady's Fortune for one of my characters. But the actual title itself, which is this gigantic book.
Oh, you froze
that's
there just
about,
for a
I don't know,
second.
A1 size, like it's huge. The title is this huge document that's like, I don't know, nearly a meter long,
So cool.
40
Wow.
centimeters wide, and it's all like beautifully hand painted and like in old Russian, and yeah, with the
Wow.
second to last Tsar's seal on it. It's a mad thing.
Rob asked, can you inherit the title? Like, can you inherit the title?
Good question.
Well, technically I'm the next in line, but I'm a woman, so yeah.
Could you be the
Man.
baroness?
But my theory is that the title hasn't technically existed for 100 years, so my dad can give it to whoever he wants. But
There you
I don't
go.
actually want it. I think one of my sisters should have it because she's done all the family history work and she cares the most and she'll look after it the best. But my dad
That's
is
cool.
a
Cool.
strange, charming creature and nobody knows what he's going to decide.
to be determined at some later
Yeah.
time. That's a cool story. All right. Brienne, it's your turn.
Okay, so I just did some just personal life ones here. I've never broken a bone. I was 10.5 pounds when I was born, and I have a pet snake.
Yes. Pet snakes are awesome.
I used to have a pet snake.
We have
Hmm.
a pet snake, but
But breed?
a ball python. He's very special. He doesn't eat very well. He has issues. He has issues around eating, and but now he's eating like crazy. And my husband has a heart attack every time he tries to feed him. It's hilarious to listen from the other room because it's like, I guess he decided to cooperate today.
Okay, I'll read them one more time.
Great, thanks.
I've never broken a bone. I was 10.5 pounds when I was born, and I have a pet snake.
For your mom's sake, I hope number 2 is
Yeah,
the one.
exactly. But I don't think you make that up because that's just brutal.
Oh. And
I'll say
number
one.
I
The
would say
bones.
I have actually never broken a bone, knock on
Really?
all. I mean, maybe
Wow.
maybe like a toe at one point, but like knocking on wood and everything.
Yeah.
All right.
I had horses as a kid, so I've done like 3 fingers and a collarbone and a foot and
Yeah.
Collarbones,
The
it's the
horses.
worst. I broke my collarbone. Ow.
Okay, we've got votes for the bone is a lie. Never broken a bone is a lie. Rob has also never broken a bone.
Okay.
We have a vote for the big baby is the lie.
The big baby.
Katie in the chat said we had a pet snake named Elvis when I was growing up, which is
Awesome.
fantastic. We have another for big baby and another for no broken bones. So tell us which one of these is the lie.
Okay, so I had snakes growing up. I have not had a snake for 15 years. My last snake was named Houdini because he actually escaped from the pet store 3 times before we bought him.
Oh.
So that we had to have a lock on the cage because that snake literally would break out of the pet store on a regular basis. But it's been a while. But no, I've never broken a bone despite doing martial arts, despite doing horseback riding, despite doing AmeriCorps and a bunch of other things that should have broken a bone. I've had a bunch of other weird injuries, but my bones are fine.
Yes.
And no,
I'm
I
in
was
that
a 10 and a
same
half
boat.
pound baby. Feel sorry for my mother.
Oh,
She adopted the next 2. Is it a wonder?
I was gonna say that makes total sense now why your sisters are adopted.
Yeah, I was a month late, so I was huge.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh,
My son was almost 9.5 pounds, and that was no drugs. That was brutal.
Yeah, no,
So,
she didn't have it either. She didn't have drugs either.
yeah. Mm.
wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Bless your
apparently,
mother.
like, when I was born, the doctor was like, Jesus Christ, and my mom was like, what? And she's like, oh, no, it's fine, it's fine.
Everything's fine. It'll be great.
Everything's really fine, like real healthy baby.
Yeah, no, I was always like a really healthy kid. It's just super funny because whenever my mom tells me that, she's just like,
Wow. That's something you have to like make up to your mom for your whole life.
oh yeah, no.
I'm
trust
sorry,
me.
Mom. Here's flowers on Mother's Day.
So we now have 3 people in the chat who've also never broken a bone. I didn't realize
That
this
is
is
so
like
impressive.
this is like a club that we
You guys are
belong
mad.
to.
I've like
Yeah.
more than made up for the rest of you though.
Right.
That's the thing. I feel like I know people who have broken bones have done it a lot of times.
Mhm.
Like, so there's like people that just like, for some reason they break. And for some people it's like, no, never. I mean,
But
I've
I've
put a
never
saw
had a
through my
really-
hand and never broken a bone. So
I've never
I
had a
think
really
it's gotta be
massive
genetic.
break. Like I think
Mhm.
that would be horrible. I've never had like
Yeah.
a femur or I mean I
I
broke my arm when I was 7 and that was like a big compound fracture that needed hospitalization. But the
Oh.
rest are all like little like finger fractures and
I would say a compound fracture of
and-
any kind is a massive bone break.
yeah, but I was 7.
Sorry,
and
I'm
I
gonna
don't really
disagree with
remember, right?
Yeah.
I got a hospital ride. I got an ambulance ride, so it was exciting.
Gosh.
You're 7. It was cool.
Yeah, right. I was a little kid, and I was super mad because it happened at school, and there was this boy who'd been bullying me, and he pushed me off like a little bench, and I landed on the ground and put my arm out, and a couple of kids fell on top of me, and that's what.
Oh
caused me.
God.
So I was
That's
super
Ow.
mad at this
sad.
kid, and one day I'm going to name a villain after him, but I keep forgetting. So
So we'll know
Do it.
one day.
Do it.
And there's a
Do
villain with a certain name.
yeah,
That is arm breaking kid.
Mm-hmm.
I think Elvis is an awesome name for a snake. It's
Yeah.
really awesome. Our snake is named Foo Foo Cuddly Poops. And if anyone knows where that came from, anyone in the chat knows where that came from, I'll send you a free book.
Oh, so hey.
Everybody's off Googling it now. Like,
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
I know.
Okay. Like within the next like minute. Okay.
Yeah.
No Googling.
Where did we go?
All right, Rachel, would you like to?
sure. So it seems like I went down a similar vein to some of you guys. Okay, here's my 3. Number 1, I used to have a pet tarantula named Charlotte, named after a spider from Charlotte's Web. Number 2, I can't donate blood because I lived in Europe in the 80s and I may have been exposed to mad cow disease. And number 3, my dad is a rocket scientist.
Oh.
I reckon
We've
number
already
one.
had like one like fancy dad. Like it wouldn't surprise me if we have another one. So
That's true.
My dad has a
True.
master's degree in volcanoes. So
Wow.
that's a useless thing to
Ro,
He's
is it
just-
Oh,
from,
Robert got it.
I was
Yes.
gonna say, it's,
Excellent.
Rob God, that is from Avatar. So
Last Airbender. Yep. Excellent, Robert. I'll you have to say. Did you? Oh, you Googled to make sure. Yeah, send me a message, and I'll hit you up with a book.
thank you. Okay, Rachel, can you read yours one more time for the
Sure.
the
So
folks?
number one is I used to have a pet tarantula named Charlotte. Number two, I can't donate blood because I lived in Europe in the 80s and may have been exposed to mad cow disease. And number three, my dad is a rocket scientist.
Hmm. Oh, Katie in the chat said that she has a master's degree in volcanoes.
Wow.
Cool.
Wow.
Cool. So many
Um,
scientists.
Sharon says the tarantulas lie. Her father-in-law is a rocket scientist, so that's real to her as well.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I wonder if he's a like super cool scientist, but it's not a rocket scientist. Like that would be like the close but not a lie. So.
I'm trying to remember if they had mad
I don't
cow
know.
disease
I reckon
in
it's the middle one,
80s.
but you can't donate blood for a different reason.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Mm.
yeah, I'm not sure. It's a good one.
Yeah, Mad Cow doesn't seem that long ago.
Right,
Wasn't that the 90s?
But the 90s were only 10 years ago. So,
Right?
Really?
so
Years ago, Kelly.
yeah, yes. Yes, absolutely. Because when you think about a movie that was made in the 90s, you're like, what is that movie, like 10 years old? And then you do the math and cry a little.
Yeah. Sad.
All right, so we have number one, Charlotte the human said Charlotte the tarantula is alive. Rocket scientist, tarantula. All right, so which one is the lie?
The lie is the tarantula. I have had a lot. I've had a lot of very random pets, but I've not ever had a tarantula.
Okay.
I did live in Europe in the 80s, and it is true that you cannot donate blood because I may have been exposed to mad cow disease, although I feel like I probably would have it by now. But also, I was a child. You had to eat like infected beef, I think. I was a child, and let me tell you, the only beef I was eating while we lived there was like from McDonald's, and I'm pretty sure all their beef comes from the same place. So
Yeah.
I think I'm okay. My dad really is a rocket scientist. He is an astronomer and a physicist, and he has worked for NASA and the U.S. Air Force, and
Right on.
like all kind of
Cool.
top secret stuff with the planes that I do not understand. But yeah.
That's so cool.
Wow. All right. Sharon
Very
says, Ro,
cool.
we remember the 80s.
Yeah, and the 70s.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I think I just dated myself with my fact.
Some of us are really close to that half century mark. So
Me too.
Leaning ever closer to it.
exactly.
All right. So we have one more category. And for this one, I said it's wild card. It is whatever topic that you want us to try and guess. So, who knows what's going to happen? Let's find out.
I already revealed my wild card category on Twitter.
Awesome.
Oh, okay.
Renee, would you like to start us off this time?
I guess. I mean, I'm totally winging it because I didn't prepare for this.
Just wing it.
It'll really be wild.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or if you want to go last and think about it.
No, it's fine. I'll just roll with it. So I don't know if you can see the paintings in the background of my screen, right up the top.
Mm-hmm.
I adjust that so you can see them better? So there's a set of 6 paintings. Yeah. So my mum painted them on commission from us. And that's a truth, because obviously I'm not going to just go, okay, so here's 2 truths and a lie. Obviously that one's true. Oh, now I've moved them out of the way. So to do with those paintings, I guess I could do 2 truths and a lie. Oh God, how do you wing this stuff?
That's why I did it.
I couldn't.
Let me think of a lie to do with those paintings that I haven't already said by telling you that my mum. Okay. My partner and I met on one of the roads in those paintings. I took the photos that they come from, and the building is an abandoned train station.
Okay. You met your partner on one of the paths, or you took the pictures that the paintings were based on, or there's a building in there that is an abandoned train station. Well, for winging it, you did it. Good job.
That was really good for winging it. You're like, I don't know. Here's 3 specific things.
I think the photo one's the fake one.
I think so too.
I'm gonna say the train.
I think your partner and you meeting on one of the paths is fake.
But I want that to be true.
I
It's
know,
romantic.
that's like romance novel right there.
Yeah.
I know, but
Yeah. We've got to vote for number 1. Number 1.
See?
Oh no. Just because we want something to be true doesn't mean it is. We got to vote for train station.
Okay.
Okay. So which one of those is the lie?
The first one, sort of.
Sort of.
Sort of.
So we met when we were working for the same company, and the company did road maintenance, and one of the roads in that picture is one of the roads, but we didn't meet on that road.
That was pretty good for being on the fly.
Yeah,
that was
really
super good.
And now I think, and now you have a plot bunny for 2 strangers meeting on a road.
Mm-hmm.
And the abandoned train station, it's in the King Country in New Zealand, and it's called Mangapehi. It's near Bennydale, which is like this tiny little town of about 4 houses in the middle of nowhere.
Aww.
That's very cool.
And they had a train station.
They used to have a train station.
That's cool that you have those paintings. My grandmother painted, and I have one of the many that she painted. I would have liked to have had more of them, but I have one, and it's of the Golden Gate Bridge. And so it's displayed prominently in my living room, and it makes me smile every day. So I'm happy that you have those.
The funny thing about these paintings is that they really upset one of my kids, because they're made, the scene is not a real, like it's a composite of a bunch of places in the same region. And my mum painted them in a way that you can put them in almost any order and they'll still work together as a puzzle. So every time we move them or move house, we can put them up in
that's like
order.
really complex to be able
and
to
it just it drives my son crazy, because he's just like, why is there not an order? Why is this not just like this? Why is that not number 1 and 2, 3? It's like, well, it's an insight into your grandmother's brain.
There you go. That's a good answer.
Okay, Rin. Wild card.
Okay, so I actually did something kind of similar to Rose. I decided to do career ones for this because I did always want to be a writer. However, I thought growing up though, it was just like, that like, because it was before like digital publishing was big or anything. And I thought like, unless you were Stephen King, like you didn't get to be a writer for a living.
Total same.
Yeah, so like I wanted it, but in my head I was like, well, I got to do something practical. You know, you got to get food on the table.
Exactly.
So I'm going to give 3 past careers, and one of them is fake. I've been a funeral director. I've worked for a Chinese language program, and I've been a veterinarian.
Wow.
Ooh,
Those are really
wow.
good.
Huh. I do actually know the answer to this one.
Yeah, you know me.
I know. I will give none away. I will be like, those are all very good answers.
I guess veterinarian, because there's like a lot of school for that. So I feel like you wouldn't have all those other careers too, but I don't know.
So can you give us those again?
I've been a funeral director. I've worked for a Chinese language program, or I've been a veterinarian.
Actually, all of those sound like they would inquire a lot of learning. So
well, except you could have done number 1 and number 2 like when you were in college or something. Like those could have been early jobs.
I do mean a full job, not school.
Mhm.
For all these.
So far, 4 votes for veterinarian. We have some comments about the paintings. Sue, hi Sue, said that she loves that concept for a painting. And then Rob said that he'd be rearranging them randomly to annoy people.
But we do.
Your
We
poor
rearrange them
son.
about once a year. We rearrange the order.
Oh, just to
Your
drive your
poor
son
son.
crazy. And we have another another vote for vet, but guesses that you probably worked vet adjacent.
Yeah.
All right. So which one of those is the lie?
So my mother's a veterinarian. I am not. She works in doing some. Actually, she works with humans now, doing like medical transcription stuff. But she was a vet my whole childhood, leading up to that. But yeah, I was a funeral director first. I ended up getting another degree in East Asian languages and cultures. Both my sisters are Chinese, and learned Mandarin and ended up working for a program at Indiana University. And but yeah, so I spent a lot of time in vet clinics growing up, but
Yeah.
did not personally do that. Bonus points if anybody can guess what my day job is now, because it's none of those things. Any thoughts?
Oh.
Yeah.
I work in video games now.
I was going to say you wouldn't guess from any of the things that you told us. So.
Yeah, it's none of those. Not even close.
Yeah.
That's cool though.
Yeah,
That's
no, I
very
really
cool.
like it. I've been doing it for 8 years now, but it not what you would expect looking at anything on my past resume whatsoever. I kind of fell into it by accident.
I'm glad I'm not the only one with a chaotic CV.
Well, because again, like I wanted to be like practical growing up. I was like, okay, I'll get a license, I'll do this, I'll learn a language, I'll do this and this. And then like I started writing for video games midway through my last degree, and then graduated, and I was like, what, I could do this full time? Okay, sure, I guess. So now my work has absolutely nothing related to what I went to school for whatsoever.
I think too, that like for writers or, like creative brained people, we're interested in a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So we, it's not uncommon to see people who have varied careers throughout their lives.
Yeah.
I'm just happy that like teen me who dreamed of being a writer finally got what they wanted. It was just
Yay.
a way more roundabout path than expected.
That's true.
Cool.
Very
Okay,
cool.
Rachel.
Okay. So for my wild card category, I picked fangirl because I am a pretty notorious person for fangirling my whole life. Okay, so number 1, I met Madonna at a CD signing for her American Life album in New York City. Number 2, I once drank Nora Roberts' champagne. And number 3, I sang karaoke in front of Gloria Estefan at a party in Miami Beach.
Oh man. These could all be true.
I know.
That's
Especially
the
like
middle
the Nora
one.
Roberts champagne one, because it like, a conference
Yeah.
at some point. You could have grabbed the wrong
You grabbed the wrong glass. Exactly. Oh,
Those are good.
Rachel.
All right. So you met Madonna at a CD signing in New York.
Mm-hmm.
You
I
drank
drank Nora Roberts' champagne. Or I sang karaoke in front of Gloria Estefan at a party in Miami Beach.
Oh God, that'd be hilarious.
Oh, okay, we got to vote for number 3. They're all too cool to choose. Another vote for number 3. The Nora's champagne is a lie. All 3 of them are awesome. Pamela, you're right. All right, which one of those is the lie?
Okay, so the lie is Madonna. I would have loved to meet Madonna. But it actually did happen to one of my best friends. And I'm still kicking myself that I didn't go with her because there was like a limited number of wristbands for the signing.
Yeah.
And I would have had to drive all the way to New York City. And I'm like, there's no way I'll even get a wristband. And then she got a wristband. So if I'd been with her, I would have too. And I'm still kicking myself about that. So the Nora Roberts champagne was actually at a book signing at her bookstore in Maryland. And she served us all champagne, like really nice champagne. So this here my embarrassing story. So we're standing behind the bookstore during the break in the signing, and she had fed us pizza and champagne. So I've got, but there was nowhere to sit. So I'm standing with a paper plate with a slice of pizza and a cup of champagne in my other hand, and I'm standing like face to face with Nora, who has champagne and a cigarette and is looking like so freaking cool. And here I am, like trying not to drop this pizza down the front of my dress, and like, both of us are introverts, so like we're just kind of like, hi, I'm not worthy, I'm not worthy, I'm not worthy. And it was so embarrassing, but like really cool.
That's
While
awesome.
trying to not drop the pizza on Nora.
Trying not to drop the pizza on Nora
Oh my God.
or down the front of myself. And miraculously, I actually did not spill the pizza, but I don't think I ate very much of it either because it was just really
awkward. Yeah.
Not gonna work out well for me.
Does anybody else have good celeb ones? Good celeb like meetings?
I sat directly behind Nora when I was a Golden Heart finalist during the big awards ceremony. I literally sat behind her, so I have a picture of like her back,
the back of her head,
the back of like there. That's the VIP section. Ooh, look at.
She's very, very nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
My only celebrity meeting was terrible. I knocked Seth Green to the ground. He's very
That's
short,
awesome.
by the way. Did you know
He's a
that?
small guy.
Yes, he's very small.
It was at Comic-Con. I grew up in San Diego, going to Comic-Con.
Oh, cool.
And it was the year that the movie 300 came out, with all the Spartans.
Yes.
They gave out, this was a mistake on their part. They gave out a bunch of huge cardboard shields to attendees. And my friend and I were trying to get to some panel. I don't remember what it was, but we were like, had the shields up and we're like trying to get through the crowds. Well, it turns out that Seth Green was doing like a signing at a table, and he realized he had to get somewhere very quick and climbed over the table as I was moving, and I bodied that man onto the floor.
That's
and I looked at him, I was
great.
just like, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm like, Seth Green. He's like, it's okay. I have to get to a signing. And like, just like kind of like scramble up. But I like knocked him all the way onto the ground.
Oh man.
Wow. That's
and I was
great.
like, oops.
That's great. I've been able to meet some pretty cool celebrities. Metallica, Motley Crue. Like I've gotten to meet some cool celebrities, but the most embarrassing was Beverly D'Angelo. We were at a hotel in San Diego, and I had come out of my room and the door closed, and I was yelling to my husband out the door or out the window because he was putting stuff in the car, and I was like in a nightshirt. I don't think I had a bra, or maybe I had underwear. I don't even know. And I'm just like, don't forget the diapers. And then she like is walking by, and she's like, she said something kind of funny, and I looked at her and I went, oh my God, it's Beverly D'Angelo. And I'm like staring at her, and I saw her like speed up and walk really fast to get past the crazy, like half naked lady in the hallway. So that one, yeah, that's my embarrassing, but thankfully I didn't embarrass myself too bad in front of the other ones.
Oh, dear.
Though I imagine, Motley Crue and Metallica have seen everything. So
Yeah,
it'd be
yeah.
hard to embarrass yourself in front of them, I think.
True. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I mean, I have like a weird, quirky New Zealand super famous moment. My sister was in the same high school class as an All Black.
As who?
An All Black, Stephen Donald. So I grew up in this really small town in New Zealand, and so like 2,500 people or something. And one of the teachers my dad was one of the teachers at high school, but one of the other teachers at the high school, Mr. Donald, his oldest son was in my class and his youngest son was in my sister's class, and his youngest son turned out to be an All Black who kicked the winning goal in the World Cup.
Oh, got it. Okay. Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. We were
But
like,
that's it for me.
As a sport,
that's a sports
It's a
reference.
whole like
Sports ball.
Yeah, it's sports ball.
Yeah, sports ball.
New Zealand has this real cult thing about the All Blacks. So if you are like adjacent,
Oh, I've
to
seen
an
them
All Black
before.
and
They're
you know
pretty
them,
amazing.
like the whole town renamed itself for a week after the World Cup after Stephen.
Oh,
It was
how
just like,
funny.
okay,
Aw.
that's pretty
That's
intense.
awesome. That's awesome. Do we have time to do my last one?
Yes.
My wild card? Okay.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Give us your wild card.
So since my story is a holiday story and I am not a fan of Christmas, I will say that, being a child of divorce who married a child of divorce, it's not my favorite time of the year, but I'm a sucker for like good holiday stories. I don't know. It's the same thing. Like I can't stand watching NFL football games, but I love football movies. Like I'm weird like that. So
Me too.
places I've spent Christmas. Driving home from Disneyland, without power in Iowa, or stuck on an Amtrak train outside Denver.
Oh. I mean, being a Midwesterner, number 2 is real likely. Like you can lose, the great snowstorm comes rumbling through.
Yeah.
All right. Can you give us those one more time?
Yes. Places I've spent Christmas: driving home from Disneyland, without power in Iowa, stuck on an Amtrak train outside Denver.
I feel like the Disneyland one isn't true because I hope you wouldn't do that to yourself and try to drive home on Christmas. It's possible that you were forced to by circumstances, but I kind of hope you didn't have to.
Say you, chat. Yeah. I
So
don't,
would there
honestly,
be
I don't want any of them to be true.
would there be less traffic or more traffic on Christmas Day?
I think less.
You would think
Yeah.
that.
You would. I mean, you would.
But then everybody's going everywhere, right? So
Yeah. And I also think like stranded on an
Amtrak. If
like
it was
also
the airport, I'd believe it more. Okay.
Yeah.
Roberts
but, I
is
mean,
Amtrak.
you can certainly be stranded outside of Denver with like again, a snowstorm coming through the mountains.
Exactly.
We've got number 1. Disneyland seems too likely, so the lie.
Oh, okay.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Which one is the lie?
I have actually never been on an Amtrak train. So it's that one.
Ah.
Disneyland.
Good.
Disneyland, we fully intended to be at Disneyland for Christmas Day. But there was a snafu with my brother-in-law, and my kids were not going to be able to see their cousins. And so we drove home a day early, gave up like hotel reservations and tickets to the park so that my kids could see their cousins on Christmas. And then we got there and my brother-in-law's like, oh, well, their mom said they could stay an extra day.
See, this is exactly why I didn't want that one to be true, because I knew
Yeah.
whatever circumstances leading to it would suck.
Oh.
That's exactly why I didn't want that one to be true.
Yeah, I was like,
Right.
finally, a Christmas I can love. Like, we don't have to go to all the families' houses. We could just be in one place, and the best place. Yeah, no.
Oh.
Nope.
And why
No.
were you in Iowa?
I went to college in Iowa. So yes, I had a paramour there for a couple of years, and so we would stay with his friends, and they lived in a town that had like, I don't know, 5 people. It was a very small town, and the power would go out every time. So and they would run a kerosene heater in the house when it got cold. That seemed dangerous to me, but you know, I was from California and I was the weather wimp. So, you know, people would, they would just laugh at me. So I just didn't say anything. Like, oh, this is how we're going to do it. Okay.
I mean, they're from here, so I guess they
Yeah.
know how to heat a house.
Right. Yeah. We actually missed, class several times because we would go to stay with my boyfriend's friends, and we would get stuck because of ice storms and power lines down, and nobody would come to this town to like, because it was way out in the middle of nowhere. And I was like, this is like the 20th century. Really? You guys don't have a phone? Like how is it? Yeah, it was very, well, this was early 90s. So yeah, but I had some wonderful times there. I'm still friends with them, and lovely people. I would do it again in a heartbeat.
Aww.
Maybe not the kerosene heater, but
You're getting a lot of love in the chat, by the way, for your Disneyland story.
God, I know. We've had to leave a lot of vacations early because of stuff like that. Yeah, like DC. I'm trying to think of had to cancel trips because of stuff like that. Yeah. So
good times.
Good times.
So, while we have a captive audience, does anybody watching have any questions, either for the group or individual authors? Now is your time to ask those. And while you're typing away, just want to remind you that I'm going to be doing a drawing here for a $20 Love Sweet Arrow gift card. So I'll start just randomly scrolling, and then I'll go boop. Very scientific.
You have to make that sound too when you do it.
Okay, I will.
So we know it's real.
Yeah. And then Marissa, if you see what I typed in the chat, fortunately, I completely forgot. I don't have a YouTube account, and I can't post in the chat.
Oh.
So if it's one of those things I'm like, oh, I should do that, but I only remember it while I'm doing YouTube things. So someone please remind me, would you make up a YouTube account? So anyway, if you don't mind copying and pasting that, I have all the authors' websites and social media handles. And Marissa was kind enough at the start of this to post each buy link for all of the books. So if you want to buy any of the books, again, please support Love Sweet Arrow and buy them from those links that she shared. We have a question from Sharon. Any book or reading recommendations? And since this is a Sapphic Romance author chat, I think it would be good for one of those titles to be recommended. Anybody?
I read this recently, and it was super fun. And also, this is my pile of books that I read while camping, and that was cool too.
I really like that.
That was really interesting.
Sorry,
and that cover, I love.
For people who watch it, there was House of Agnes by Fiona Zetti.
Yeah.
And then the other one was it's The Perks of Being a Wallflower or something.
Of Loving a Wallflower. Yeah.
Perks of Loving a Wallflower by Erica Ridley.
This one's quite suspense, I guess. And this one's just really sweet and nice, but medium heat.
Awesome. Yeah, I can't wait to read that one. It's on the Kindle.
Yeah, I have a bunch of ones, books I picked up over October, actually including Read Between the Lines. that I need to. Yeah, I haven't started yet, but I have like a bunch of on my TBR. This month is so slammed for me, but I wish I could recommend any of them, but I've literally not started them yet. I keep like flinging books onto my Kindle.
Yeah, well, we went camping last week, so I have a whole pile of books that I read, which is fun.
Very,
I've
very
read
cool.
like so much Sapphic Romance this year. So I'm like trying to think of titles. I love Lee Winter's Hotel Queen. I love Last Night at the Telegraph Club by Melinda Lowe.
Oh, that's on
I
my TBR.
loved When Tara Met Farah by Tara Pammy.
Oh, that looks so cute.
It was really cute. I think what else I recently read. I know I'm forgetting a lot of great stuff. If you look at my BookBub account, I recommend a lot of books there.
Good. That's good. I have been just awful about reading, just in general. It took me a while to get out of my slump, and I am not ashamed to admit that the Morning Glory Milking Farm, which is not a Sapphic romance, was the book that got me out of my
I heard a lot about that on Twitter.
Oh boy.
I have also heard a lot about that on
Oh
Twitter.
boy.
Yes, it was wild and sweet and very very different. I always love to recommend Kelly's first book in her Out on the Ice series. That's one of my absolute favorites. I also really love Holly Trent's Writing Her In, and that's a poly romance, but it's really kind of focused on the female aspect of the relationship. And
I enjoyed
I
that too.
love that book. I love that book. It's time for a reread, I think.
Yeah, I've been reading a lot more, which is, I mean, this isn't a bad thing at all, but I've been reading like a lot of trans and non-binary romance that doesn't necessarily fit into like the Sapphic romance category. So I'm like trying to think of like the last like FF book I read, and I'm like, something.
Have you
to
read
go back in my Kindle one.
Fake It by Lily Seabrook?
Oh, Lily is such a sweetheart.
Yeah. It's a trans Sapphic romance.
Yeah, we did Kelly and I did a read cute thing with Lily. What was it, last month? Kelly, time is fake.
October.
Yeah, and it was a really good time. I think she read from that book.
I think she did.
Yeah,
For one of the read cutes, she has read from Faking It. But yes, I would also definitely recommend any and all book by Lily Seabrook.
I loved Roller Girl by Vanessa North,
like that too.
which has a trans romance. Love that story. Like, I want to go. I was a big roller skater as a kid. I want to do roller derby after reading that, except I've had too many broken bones and I would just break.
I would just break, crack in half.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say I'm also really looking forward to reading Erica Ridley's new book, and I also recommend Jeanette Alexander's "I Kissed a Girl." It came out in August, I think, and it's in like the world of like B horror movies.
It sounds super fun.
Yeah,
and I love the cover on that one.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
And of course,
I would also plug. And it's a short story. I was part of a different charity anthology that came out in January called A More Perfect Union, and I'm pretty sure we extended it. It was supposed to be a short time, but we felt like it was still needed to raise funds for a fair fight. And Sarah Taino has a story in that is, and of course I can't remember the name of her story, but it is super sweet. And it's basically about women who run like a transportation for women who have recently been released from prison. And so it's just, talk about a disenfranchised group. Like, it was really, she did such a lovely job with that story. So if you get a chance to pick it up, and there's a couple of other Sapphic romances in that collection as well.
And also to that point with women getting out of prison stories, also I'd recommend Get It Right by Sky Colleen.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's a
Sky's work
really-
is great.
That's a great story. Her other stories are great too, but that one's good. It's a woman who is freshly out of prison, and she reconnects with the very kind nurse who used to work there. So yeah,
I like that.
so many good.
Yes.
We have another question from Katie. Do you have a favorite subversion of anything you've written or read?
Subversion?
Subversion, like a flipping of the trope, or like
Oh,
reverse
got it.
harem.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I've written a couple of secret babies that aren't secret.
Non-secret babies.
So the thing I really dislike about the secret baby trope is that it's often built on a lie or a miscommunication. So I tried to write, when I wrote Betrayed, I tried to write it so that there was no lie. Like it was a secret baby that the bloke didn't know about, but there was no lie in that. And so the book starts when the child is actually 7. And that was kind of my way around it. That book is Betrayed. And then Her Pregnant Rival is it's a novella based on a Reddit post, and it's basically a woman gets knocked up by a bloke and then meets the bloke's ex-wife, and then they hook up with the 2 wives, or so they both have children to the same man, but they
That's
have a
super
relationship
fun.
themselves. Yeah. So the tagline was society expects them to be rivals, but what if the best revenge is falling in love?
Nice.
Oh, I love that. Oh my gosh, I love that.
Yeah, for me, my Assassin series is very much engaging with noir tropes of the femme fatale, the cold assassin, but not killing women, because that's no. This is the thing with noir: the femme fatale never gets what she wants. She is the sinful woman that is doomed to fail. Even if she attracts everybody, this and this and that, because that's not how noir works. And literally, the entire series is like engaging with, like, Campbell is non-binary, the assassin, like, what masculinity looks like, what violence looks like when you're not a man, like what, the femme fatale getting what she wants, like what if she's justified, like the first book is about, like, the first book is she hires an assassin to kill her abusive husband, and is like, like dealing with like the morals of that and the consequences of that, and like in a noir setting where like the police in every single institution is corrupt, why would she trust the law? And like what that looks like when you're queer, and like what's that looks like when you're like that. So like that entire series for me, I just finished writing the 3rd book. It's with my editor now. It's going to be 4, but that entire series is literally me looking at all the noir tropes that I grew up loving, but hating that they punished women all the time. So that entire series is me engaging with that to subvert it. It's out of spite.
Spite subversion.
It's a great motivator.
I love it. I love
That's
it.
amazing. That is amazing. I wanted to say Katie said to Renee that she also dislikes the lie communication part of the secret baby trope. So she's going to check out your book. Thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome.
And Sue said, thanks for cultivating and nurturing such a wonderful online community. Thank you for being a part of it. So I think unless anybody else has another question that you're going to type in the chat real quick, time for one more, but I'm going to do my very scientific scroll and boop. The scroll and boop. Okay, ready? Here we go.
Scroll and boop.
Scrolling, we're scrolling. Okay, I can't actually boop because I have a touch screen and it'll like do something. I landed on Rob Zimmerman. You were the big winner tonight. And I know for a fact that that you will use this Love Sweet Arrow gift card because he is like, you're like the Love Sweet Arrow champion. So
awesome.
If you I know that we see each other on Facebook, so if you want to shoot me your email address in like a direct message on Facebook, I will get you that gift card. Hooray! Although I was Love Sweet Arrow, I was like, we have his email address.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, Rob. All right.
You for being here and asking
And-
questions and participating. That's awesome.
And Katie said that Katie is going to check out Rianne's books. Sounds super excited about those.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
All right.
Love Kills Twice is the first one. There's two of them.
All right. So I guess basically just to sort of wrap things up, if all of the authors in attendance want to just remind people about the book that you have out now, and also like what you're working on or what's coming up next for you. Ro, do you want to go first?
Sure. You can find me everywhere at RL Merrill Author, my website, social media. I am furiously working on a book that is supposed to be finished at the end of the month as part of a class, 90 days to done, not a week to be done, but 90 days to done. And it's a, how should I say it? It's a gay romance that kind of, it's set in a college athletics coaching world, and it's going to kind of tackle some toxic masculinity stuff. So, and I laughed at, I think it was Renee who said, writes all the dialogue first, because we're supposed to be writing a shitty draft, excuse my language, according to our teacher. And basically that's what I've been doing. So many of the scenes, it's like all dialogue. And I know when I go back, I'm going to be like, who said that? Who are they even talking to? So, so I'm working on that. And I'm also working on a proposal for a lesbian goat farmer book that I've been working on for a while.
I want this book now. Come on.
Yeah, I know. I've been talking about it for a while, and I am sending out a proposal. See, I'll say it right now on the air. I will send out the proposal this week to the editor who has requested it. So that'll make me actually finish it. There you go.
It's YouTube official.
Yes, it's YouTube official. I will actually send the proposal in and not keep sitting on it. And yeah, I think that's.
And once again, your book is out today. Love and Pride.
Love and Pride is live today. And there will be more stories set in the Boulder Breed Studios. I will probably circle through some of my characters from my other series, just because I love the place, I love where it's set, and I love the creation of music that happens there. So, yeah.
So I want to read that Katie wrote, "Excuse me, lesbian goat farmer," which is literally my reaction as well.
Yes, yes. If you want a little inspiration until I actually get the book finished, Harry Farm Pit Girls on Facebook. Go to their Facebook page, like it, read it religiously. These lovely women have a goat farm in Georgia, and they make body products using goat milk, and they tell the most hilarious stories about the things that happen. So that was a huge inspiration to me, and fingers crossed that the book actually gets picked up so I can finish it.
Yes.
Sending
you the positive vibes for
Thank you.
lesbian goat farmer.
Yes, yes.
All right, Renee, what's new next for you?
So I've got a new series starting 9th of December, which isn't that far away apparently. So the first book is called Show Up, and it's a series set in a London burlesque club. So there'll be 3 Sapphic romances: Show Up, Show Off, and Show Queen. And I've written a couple of male gay novellas that'll come out like in a year's time later in the same world.
Yay!
But yeah, it's basically a post-COVID London that assumes everyone's vaccinated and everyone's kind of got a bit of a COVID backstory. Like how the club survived through the pandemic, and now that everything's open again and it's all cool and life's normal but not quite normal, and it's mostly friends to lovers too, which is fun. And the third one, Show Queen, is the online friends, offline enemies.
Ooh,
Ooh.
I love that.
Yeah.
I mean,
Can never have too many of those.
no. Awesome. That sounds super cool.
Yeah, it was fun to write.
Yeah.
And I'm currently writing a couple of Regency novellas for some anthologies, and then I'm going to write a Formula One based male series.
Yes.
Cool.
Oh my gosh. Yes. I am all here for that. All here.
But that won't be till next year.
Well, dang it. Okay.
Wow. We have so much to look forward to. Yeah, Charlotte, I agree. She said, I love the sound of those burlesque club books.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and the
that sounds super
covers
cool.
are so hot.
I bet.
But you can see the first one on my website, and the rest I'll drip feed out.
Awesome. Okay, Rian.
So yeah, I mentioned previously that I just finished the third in my Assassin series, so it's a good time to start reading it if you haven't. It starts with Love Kills Twice. The third one, there's Love Bleeds Deep is the second one, and Love Burns Bright is the third one, which is going to be probably spring 2022. And then what I'm currently working on for Nano is I got a partial or a full request from Harlequin for F non-binary romantic suspense. It's age gap, it's the bodyguard romance, it's mistaken identity, it is all of these things at once.
Yes.
So yeah, older smart lady, like AI scientist, finds herself, like, assassination attempt happens, hires a bodyguard, does not expect it to be an extremely hot 28-year-old who is has to pretend to be her lover in public.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, darn it.
When does
Hate
it
it
come
when that
out?
happens.
Or wait, is this
And
what
she's
you're
just
writing
like,
now?
I mean, I was just expecting somebody to protect me, and now I'm having, and also like there's a bit of a subplot where she's like, she's been closeted for a really long time and all of a sudden isn't. So, you know, she's in her 40s and all of a sudden it's just like, wait, I can be out now. Like, she tried to come out 20 years ago, it went horribly. So it's both her like coming to terms with her identity and also like, you know, needing a bodyguard, and there's a lot more suspense drama in it, but it's super spoilery, so I'll just highlight the tropes. But yeah, that's what I'm going to be working on. I'm hoping to have it done by the end of the year, and maybe Karina will pick it up. That'd be cool.
Yes, please.
That's amazing.
Oh my God, people are very excited. Charlotte said the grin on my face right now. Pamela's like, assassins.
Yeah. I love my terrible assassin.
Yeah,
Campbell's such an asshole.
Yeah, Sharon's like, gimme. Yeah. Okay, Rachel, what's next for you is your book that's coming out in December.
My next book is the book that I'm promoting tonight, which is Read Between the Lines, which comes out on December 1st, which is my online friends, real life enemies, book nerds all around. And then next after that is the second book in that series, which involves fake dating at a wedding in London and only one bed.
Oh no, what's going to happen?
Yes.
It's just actually the first one I've ever written only one bed, and it was so fun. I need to make that happen again.
Awesome. So Katie said for Rianne's books, older queers, heart.
Yes.
And Rob said my TBR and future TBR has expanded a lot tonight.
Yep. That's the best thing about these events.
Yes,
Yep.
the explosion of the TBR. And as a reminder, my book Unexpected Goals, book 2 in the Out on the Ice series, now available. And there will be a third book in the Hockey Ladies series. It's going to be rival head coaches.
Ooh.
So yeah, that's
Love it.
You know, gonna have some sparks flying. And I actually just finished the first draft of the title is It's a Fabulous Life. It's a female retelling of It's a Wonderful Life, crossed with a Hallmark movie, basically.
Oh, yay.
Nice.
Yes. And the angels are drag queens.
Oh,
So, so basically it's,
That's just true to life, Kelly.
I mean, it's,
Yeah.
you know, the Clara Angel says that all drag queens are magical, some more than others. That's, you know, they drag queens truly are magical. So mine can actually do a little magic in the book, but so I'm excited about that one. And yeah, thank you, Sue. I love the hockey ladies too.
Me too. Me too.
And yeah. Oh, and yes, Charlotte pointed out that Rachel's book, Read Between the Lines, was a Kindle First Reads pick.
yes.
And you, Rachel made it, y'all, to, was it number 46 on all of
33.
Amazon?
33.
Nice.
33 on all of Amazon.
That was kind of an
Amazing.
out of body experience. You may have seen me flailing all over Twitter.
No, that's valid though. I would too.
We were all
Yeah.
cheering for you. That was
That's
such a
awesome.
great. That was so
And now
great.
I'm just in the panic of like, so many people have downloaded my book. Like, what if they all hate it?
No,
They won't
will
hate
not.
it.
it's awesome.
It'll be great.
There's no hating.
Yeah. So, all right. Thank you for coming. Thanks, Pamela. Thank you all so much for joining us.
So
Once
much,
again,
everyone.
Thank
yes.
you.
Thanks for having us love Sweet Arrow.
Yeah, thank you for
Yeah.
hosting.
thank you.
Mhm.
Please be sure to spend your dollars, especially with the holiday season coming. Gift cards are your gift baskets and gift thingies through Love Sweet Arrow make a fabulous gift. So
Read Between the Lines is set for like through Christmas and the winter, and so it's like the perfect season to buy and read.
Perfect.
exactly.
Perfect.
Okay, so thanks all once again for coming, and we will see you